I don't know what to tell you. The trailer for I Play Rocky is more emotional, more powerful, more positive, more fulfilling than this entire 3-hour runtime.
Oh my gosh. Does that suck?
You know that part in Scrooged where Bill Murray is sitting in the boardroom and they're showing him these things that they think are so great and everybody thinks they're so great. And he's just sitting there thinking, Mother, help me. Or, my gosh, does that suck? I kind of went through that whole thing with this movie. And I'm going to tell you right now, anyone who says that The Odyssey is the greatest movie of the year, the greatest movie ever, a breakthrough, a spectacular this or that that's unlike anything they've ever seen, are 100% shilling and lying to you. Period. End stop. I will also tell you, if somebody says it is the worst movie they have ever seen, it is a hunk of junk, it's terrible, put bleach in your eyes, they are also lying to you. Because the truth is, it's somewhere in between, the lower end of in between. It's nothing that I'm going to run out to watch again real quick. And we're going to go over the pros and the cons very fast. I'm going to try to keep this spoiler free, nothing that you couldn't have already understood from the trailers or what have you. But for background, for anybody that's new here, besides making movies for the last 20 years, I also taught ancient Greek and Roman history. So this is very important to me, and I was looking forward to this. But I am not a Nolan bro. I am not an anybody bro. If you can say anything, you could call me a Spielberg bro, but I will call him out too. So the first thing all you Nolan bros have to do is drop that at the door and try to be more objective. So we're going to get Nolan bros who are going to overcook this thing. We're going to get people who are angry just about the casting and they're going to overcook it the other way. Then we are going to get people who are clueless normies that pay no attention to anything and they've never read a syllable of this work and they don't care and they just say, give me popcorn, watch movie, and you're going to get those. And then you're going to get people who actually critically think about things, and they're going to have a whole other take. And this take is going to come from a filmmaker's point of view, a fan's point of view, and a history teacher's point of view. And to start off with, I am just going to tell you, the casting is a problem. The casting is a problem, and not just because of any side of any kind of culture war or anything you're on, but because it just takes you out of the story. There's just really no other way to look at it. It takes you out of the story. You can't sit there and suspend disbelief and get immersed because you're supposed to be watching a bunch of Greek guys. And listen, y'all, I made notes. You're supposed to be watching a bunch of Greek guys from this 2,800-year-old story, and it looks like they're trying to make it look like a subway car at rush hour in New York, just like a mixed bag. And that's just not what this story is. You wouldn't go and tell a story of an African warrior and cast a bunch of white people, Asians, and things like that. You just wouldn't do it. Hispanics, you just wouldn't do that. It breaks the immersion. It breaks the story, the spell of it all. And that's what you get here. So outside of whether it's woke or any of that, it just is poor casting. And even Hollywood Reporter is now saying, yeah, it's bad casting choices because it just takes you out of it. And it doesn't matter if the two, and this is not just Ellen Page and Lupita Nyong'o. They caught the big part of this, but this goes everywhere throughout this movie. There are a lot of castings from everywhere, from more African Americans in other spots that are supposed to be Greek princes that are suitors. No, to Asian guys in Odysseus's crew to Indian guys. I mean, Himesh Patel plays the first lieutenant in this movie, and that's I can never say his name right. Eurylochus. I'll spit it out in a second. But Eurylochus is Odysseus's first mate, so he's in this movie a lot, and it doesn't fit, man. It just doesn't fit. So you're like, wait, that doesn't make sense. And then his crew is a mixed bag. So it's not just that casting. And immediately when you come on and Travis Scott is supposed to be playing Homer, right? And he's not good. He's not good. But it's like, okay, this makes no sense, right? This doesn't make any sense. So whether or not you care about it as a culture war thing, it just breaks the spell of the movie. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this isn't a film. This isn't something where you can do that kind of thing. And before you say, well, it's a fantasy, it's a mythology, before we even get into that, listen, they really found the city of Troy. They know it was destroyed. This is something that's rooted in history and a mythology of a people and a history of a people, a specific people. Okay, so you can't just dismiss it with that. And before you try to go down that road too far, Christopher Nolan himself said he wanted this to be so historically accurate that he could not do an orchestra for the score because they didn't have orchestras then. So if you're going that deep for authenticity, then you can't turn around and say, I'm making it for modern audiences. You can't have this both ways. You can't have it both ways. And that is the most maddening thing. Like with all the race swaps and everything, it only goes one way. And don't give me that John Wayne played Genghis Khan 70 years ago. Don't do that. That's nonsense at this point. That was stupid too, but it's 70 years ago. Okay? This movie has moments that I really, really, really liked. And then you get sucked right back out of it. You get pulled in, but it's either the casting or it is the modern language and colloquialisms. When you're getting F off and F you and you're getting daddy and your daddy's not coming home and you're pining away and just like all this common vernacular, you're out of it, man. You're out of it. And I would think something else that's very negative in this thing, and there's some positives. We're going to get to we're going to do both real quick. Negatives, if you care about this, there's no point in getting this movie in 4K. Everybody's talking about IMAX. They're talking about all that, and oh, he shot it in IMAX. I don't give a shit if there's no color. You took Grease. Like, the way Grease looked, the way it all looked in Troy, say what you want to, that looked more correct. Like, Greece is beautiful Mediterranean waters and blues and white stone and sands and greenery. This thing looks like somebody forgot to add, they shot it on log, if you know what that is. Like, they took all the color out of it and then forgot to add color back. They forgot to color correct it. It is drab. It is flat. It is so flat. The whole thing. There's problems hearing them talk, and we saw this in Dolby Digital Cinema. Dolby, they call it the Big D or something like that. It's a Dolby Atmos theater, and we saw it in Dolby Vision. All that, big screen, large format. That theater was almost empty, by the way. Lots of them are almost empty around here, and I live in one of the biggest counties in the country. Okay. Lots of empty theaters on here. So I don't know about that. And this is large format. So the color though, like, you're going to get nothing out of your OLED because there's no damn color in this movie. There is no color. And that is the exact opposite of Greece and ancient Greek. Like that is the exact opposite. No color. I mean, it's drab. It's drab. And I saw that Time Magazine's critic called this thing a boring dud of a movie. It's a slog through part of it. And I'm the guy that don't care how long movies are. And I love a big ancient epic. And there are parts of this, though, that are super slow. There are parts that are great. I love the part where they run into Cersei and she turns the men into pigs. The part in the Cyclops cave. That's genuinely tense in there. They don't let the Cersei thing cook long enough. But those are genuinely good parts of the movie. When he comes back home at the end, no spoilers, read the book, okay? You've had 2,800 years. It leaves it's good, but it doesn't really do what they do in the book. And you can't get past the feminist lens that this thing has been being told through, the modern lens this is being told through, because it's really pushing a mission statement of men are the cause of despair in the world. The nature of men is destructive and to destroy civilization. It hammers that home so much. That is one thing it hammers home constantly. Men bad. They've destroyed civilization and all of that. They're bad. They realize what they've done, and this is all part of the PTSD that Odysseus is carrying. Then the other part of this is that women should, like Penelope even says in the movie, that why does it have to be a man that's on the throne? Like, she says that, okay? So that's there. And then they hammer home honoring Zeus with how Zeus tells people to treat one another like you want to be treated. They must say this 15 times in the film. And they always say it right after context a lot of times, if they've talked about Helen of Troy, if they've talked about Elliot Page or Ellen Page, whatever. After they've talked about them, that always tends to get brought up right then. Or if they encounter another woman like Cersei, they always refer back to that then. So it's like, treat people like you want to be treated, which is a good message overall, but they're only using it in the context to drive certain things home. And when it comes to Elliot Page, listen, I'm going to tell y'all, there's a scene that's going around on the internet where she runs across the beach at the beginning. There was an audible laugh out loud in the theater at her trying to run across the beach and to try to take her seriously as a soldier. I am 100% convinced she was originally playing Achilles. And because of the backlash, they changed the name. Because the storyline with her, this whole thing, Hades has to journey to she's a stand-in for Achilles. Without too many spoilers, she's there. It's her character standing in for everywhere Achilles would have been. She's there. So say what you want to, that's what they did. And there is a line that she's the greatest soldier ever, the bravest soldier ever. And so they really try to overhammer that home. And I think the most frustrating thing is that there is a better movie there. There is so much more potential there. I mean, forget the fact that you're riding a Viking ship that's supposed to be ancient Greek, and you're preaching to people about historical accuracy and wagging your finger at them because they just don't understand it. These people really don't understand this book at all. They're trying to say that Odysseus is trying to defy the gods, and that is not Odysseus. And he's not some like superhero. He's a man that wants to go home. There's a problem with the translation that even was brought up, I think, by a historian who's doing his own translation. And there's a word that the Emily Watson or Wilson or whatever her name is, the translation they're using, she tries to paint Odysseus more in a bad light. And the movie is guilty of this too. And there's a word that the common accepted definition of it is cunning or sharp, like smart. And the other discarded definition of it is liar. And that's what she goes with in her translation. She calls Odysseus a liar, refers to him as a liar over and over and over again, instead of cunning, sharp-witted, thinking on his feet. He's just a liar. That's how she refers to him. And they refer to him multiple times in the movie as just a liar. So you're boiling, once again, a hero down to being a liar. Now, there is enough moments that they really do make him a liar. They try to, they have his whole crew, like they try to make him a liar and deconstruct the hero. And I hate that. I hate that. But, I love those scenes with the Cyclops. I love the scene with, and people saying, oh, Chris Nolan can do horror because of the way he did this scene with the pigs or the Cyclops. Y'all, one scene that's laid out for you does not a horror filmmaker make. He is too cold. He is too disconnected and sterile to do horror. Horror is about visceral reactions being pulled out of people. Nolan can't do horror. Just because he can do a scene that is like in your face about something, that doesn't mean you can carry a horror narrative. Sorry, you can't. That is the exact opposite of Nolan. It would shock me. He would have to have a script that he couldn't screw up. Honestly. And all this about the 70 millimeter, it really doesn't play out. Like, so you just want to see way more water above the ship and below the ship? Like, I don't know. It feels big and small at the same time. Anyone who's overcooking this, though, as the greatest thing ever, they are doing it for other reasons. 9 out of 10 of them, you can't speak for everyone, but 9 out of 10 of them, they're doing it for other reasons. Anyone who says it's the worst movie ever, also doing it for other reasons. This isn't like Last Jedi bad, but this isn't in the same breath with Project Hail Mary. Even, like, get out of town. This movie's been beat this year by other movies. So I don't know. Go see it. For me, I'm going to put it right in the middle. I'm just going to say it's like a 5 out of 10. It's a 5 out of 10. It's right in the middle. Matt Damon, really good. Matt Damon, really good. Anne Hathaway cannot emote anymore. She can't emote. She can't move her face anymore. Lupita Nyong'o, she's barely in the movie, but it's jarring. It's jarring because they talk about her being the face that launched 1,000 ships. She just doesn't fit. It's jarring. The cast, the race swapping of the crew and other things, it's jarring. It takes you out of it. It takes you out of being immersed in this ancient epic that is a great story. And there's just no way around that. There's just no way around it. Okay? And this video they got going around now where they're like rapping it out, that ain't AI, and I wish it was, because that is the height of cringe that is going around. I mean, it is the height of cringe. They might as well be doing that Imagine video over again. It is bad cringe. But Matt Damon, really good. People are like, Tom Holland he's serviceable in this. Zendaya, you take the gods out of this movie too, which really pisses me off. Now you get the Cyclops, you get Circe, you get Scylla and Charybdis, but they skip over the sirens too. We don't get to see the beautiful naked sirens. They're off. You can't really see them. But we don't get the gods. They talk about the gods relentlessly, but we don't get them. So that's a problem. Calypso, she was fine as Calypso. It was kind of really a dulled down version of Calypso. I don't know. I could go on and on. I'm going to give it, for right now, a 5. It's right in the middle. There are things that I love, moments that I loved. But it drags on. It's dull. It's just dull in every sense of that word. It is dull. Outside of a few moments here and moments there, it's dull. So I'm going to give it a 5. Maybe I could be generous and give it a 5.5. But if you have to watch a movie multiple times to like try to convince yourself it's above like a 5 or 5.5 or even a 6 or above a 4, it probably isn't. It just isn't. I can't recommend spending the money to go see this. But at the same time, I can't say wait and buy it on 4K because it's dull as dishwater and you're not going to get anything out of your... Watch the 4K of Troy and watch it gleam like ancient Greece should. And that's what I got for you. I don't know. Thumbs up, thumbs down. It's right in the middle. It's right in the middle. It's meh. It's meh. It's the definition, and I hate this word, of mid. And that's what I got for you. And if you enjoy this, please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And until next time, I am absolutely flummoxed on this one. This is what happens when you have a sterile filmmaker trying to dabble in culture war and getting it all over Homer's greatest works. And until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.
I know.